unboxing my overpriced Trader Joe's bag. Let's go. Hi, hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you guys are new, my name is Celesta. I do all things luxury shopping and handbags. So if you love those things, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification. I do post videos every week. So I'm sure you can tell by the title of this video, I recently got the Dior book tote. I purchased the book tote in Hawaii and that was part of my Hawaii haul. So if you haven't seen that video, I'll leave that up here. But for so long, I've said that this bag is overpriced, it is not worth it. So let's start out with the unboxing and then I'll talk about the different sizes, the pricing, do I think it's worth it, what are my thoughts, and let's go. Let's talk about the different sizes that Dior offers for their book totes. So right now they have a mini size, they have the small size, which I have, and they have the large book tote. The prices are actually pretty similar, I would say. So the mini size retails for about $2,500. I'll leave a picture of it here. I do really like it. It's just, I really can't get past the handles. It looks very 2D to me, and I feel like it should look like the handles for the book tote are more round and the ones that they have in the mini are flat. I think for that, I think the comfortability of the bag is going to be a little bit off. And then also, given that the bag is so small, I really wish that it would have come with a crossbody strap or something that you can attach a longer strap to. Next is the small size. So I do have the small size. This is the small book tote in the Tote pattern in the color gray. I do really like this size, and I think this is probably the best size for my frame. I am 4'11", so I think that having the bigger book tote, it just was gonna be way too big on me. And then on top of that, if I fill it up to the brim, I probably won't be able to carry it anyways. So the small size does retail for $3,100. It is a little bit of a jump from the mini size, but if you look at it from a size perspective, the mini is probably 3 times smaller than the small. And last but not least, probably the most popular size and the original book tote size is the large book tote, which I'll leave a picture here. It does currently retail for $32.50, so it's just a little bit more expensive than the small. So if you're debating between which size to get, I would choose the size that is most functional for you, not so much like, oh, the bigger the bag means that I'll get more use out of it or it's more worth your money because it's bigger. I found that the bigger the bag, personally for me, I don't think that I would use that big of a bag. So just try to keep that in mind when you're making a decision on which size is best for you. I was honestly hesitant to purchase this bag for quite a long time for a few reasons. Number one, I think this bag is really trendy. And personally for me, I like to steer away from really trendy items. And I like to look for things that I think I can keep in my collection for years and years and years. I think this bag is trendy because you see it all over social media, you see it on so many different influencers, and so with that, it's hard to gauge whether you actually like the bag or if you're actually just brainwashed into thinking you like the bag. Next, I was hesitant to buy this bag because I think it's overpriced. This bag is a fabric bag for $3,100 in the US. They did have a price increase, I think in the beginning of this year, and on top of that, you do have to pay tax. I'll kind of jump into how much I paid for the bag in Hawaii in just a little bit, but for a fabric bag that's not coated canvas, so it is pretty delicate, I think it's overpriced. On top of that, this bag doesn't have any sort of like interior lining or anything like that. It's just the bag. There's no sort of organization. There's no interior pockets. It's a very simple design. And for that, for $3,100, I would hope that you would at least line the bag or maybe even an interior pocket that you can put like cards and things like that inside. Dior also historically doesn't hold its value very well, with the exception of the Lady Dior, but even then it's really dependent on the condition. I don't know exactly why Dior doesn't hold its value very well, but if I had to guess, I think it's because they're constantly changing styles and they're constantly changing their logos and designs. So when they're coming out with the new styles, they discontinue the old ones. And then of course, nobody wants to buy the old ones. And so that ends up having really bad resale resale value. So for example, I've seen the diorama, which was discontinued a few years back. I've seen that for about $1,200. So my concern with this bag is that in a few years time, I decide maybe I don't like this bag anymore, it's no longer in style, or it doesn't fit with my lifestyle anymore, then I'd be able to sell it. Most of the bags that I do have, I have done my research and they do hold its value pretty well. So with price increases and things like that, if I may not be able to get all of my money back for it, I am able to get most of my money back for it. So that I'm not too concerned about. But with this bag, I am a little bit concerned about the resale value, but of course, we can't win them all. Last but certainly not least, I was definitely hesitant to purchase this bag because at the end of the day, it's just not very practical. So this is the small size, as I've said earlier. The on-the-go MM is probably a very similar size to this, the Louis Vuitton on-the-go, which I'll leave an image right here. What's nice about the on-the-go is that there's two straps. There is a top handle strap just like this, but then there's also a longer shoulder strap that's made of leather, so it's a lot more comfortable to wear. I have carried this bag a few times and it's nice on the crook of your arm and also under your arm like this on your shoulder. But if you're carrying a lot of stuff, it does get really heavy and the handles are kind of stiff, so it's not super comfortable. I think this bag is more so about the aesthetics than the practicality. So if you're considering getting this bag, make sure you take that into consideration as well. Just because it's a big bag doesn't mean that it's gonna be practical and functional. Okay, so let's talk about pricing. So I purchased this bag in Hawaii. In Hawaii, there is a 4.75 or 4.85% sales tax. For whatever reason, the Dior store is located inside of a duty-free mall in Waikiki, and so they did not have sales tax, even if you are a US resident. The tax-free mall is actually currently closed at the moment because of COVID. They don't know if they're gonna reopen it, and if they decide that they don't reopen the mall, Dior may start charging sales tax. So if you're interested in going there and taking a look around, definitely go sooner rather than later. I don't know when they're going to get rid of this tax-free policy. In addition to that, Dior has special pricing on certain items in Hawaii. So the book tote is about 10% off. I believe the Montaigne is also a little bit less. I didn't really look into the Lady Dior or the saddle. They may have Hawaii pricing, I'm not entirely sure, but I do know that the book tote is 10% off. So the bag total was $2,500 flat. If I were to get this bag here in California, it would be $3,100 for the bag, plus the almost 10% sales tax that I do have to pay here, which does give me a savings of almost 17% by buying the bag in Hawaii. For the price that I paid for the bag, honestly, I think that it's worth it. I probably wouldn't pay $3,500 to buy it here, and it probably would have been a more thought out purchase. This was an impulsive purchase that I made pretty much on my last full day here in Hawaii, but I do think that it is worth it. So I did some research, looked on the Pre-Love site currently, if I were to change my mind on the bag. Most of the popular print bags, so like the oblique canvas, the toile de jouy pattern, things like that, those do pretty well on the resale market. So if you're a little bit concerned about the resale value of the bag, I would probably try to get something that's a little bit more classic in terms of Dior versus something that may be a more seasonal item. I think my only concern for this bag is that the fact that this is fabric and there's no kind of coated PVC on it, nothing to protect the bag. So hypothetically, if I were at a restaurant and someone comes up to me and spills a drink on my bag or spills something on my bag, I would probably be in tears. Because it is fabric, so it doesn't really have anything that I can protect it with. With my Neverfull, I could probably just wipe it away and I wouldn't see too much damage. This is also a light colored bag, so keep that in mind as well. I have been doing some research on different sprays that I can use to protect the bag, so if you're interested in seeing that video, I'll definitely be posting that if that's successful. So I am going to be trying a few different things to spray the bag and protect it, just because I want to keep it in as best condition as possible. I did also get an organizer for the bag because, again, I mentioned that there is no kind of interior organization. So with that said, I hope that the organizer does protect a little bit more for the interior, and also provide that organization as well. And then last but not least, I think my concerns are for the handles, and if with the oils on your hands, or if your hands are a little bit dirty and you're touching the handles of the bag, I am kind of concerned that the handles will get dirty. Not the end of the world, but I think at some point I will be getting matching twillies for the bag. But definitely not a necessity right now, since I'm not using this bag every day. Overall, I am absolutely obsessed with this bag. I do think that this bag is still overpriced for what it is. I mean, if we're being honest here, it is overpriced, but I think the Tote pattern specifically is just so gorgeous to look at. I can't stop staring at it, and I'm just absolutely obsessed. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If this was helpful for you, please give it a thumbs up. I'll leave another video linked for you here, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.